Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Today on DoodleDrawArt, I'm going to show you how to paint these feathers. I was feeling like painting today and I wanted to paint some feathers, so I got out my Winsor Newton travel kit and I'm going to use Purple Lake and Alizarin Crimson and Cerulean Blue to create these watercolor abstract feathers. And they're pretty easy to do, so let's just check it out and I'll show you how. So what I'm doing first, I'm just going to get all of my paints wet. So I'm adding water directly onto my pan paints here just to sop them up and get them nice and juicy so I can work with them. And then I'm going to pull a little bit of each color up here onto the mixing section of my tray. I'm actually not going to mix the colors on the tray though. I'm just going to get them wet and make them really, really runny so that there's lots of water on my paper while I'm working. So I'm getting all three of my colors ready here, getting them wet and getting lots of water added into the tray mixing area. And I'm just going to get one sheet of paper ready here. I'm using mixed media paper for this because I want it to be able to hold water. And you can use watercolor paper as well. If you try to use regular paper and this much water, you're going to have problems though because it will be really wrinkly and soppy. So I'm just going to grab out one sheet of this paper. And let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose one color to start, and I'm going to paint a little triangle shape on my paper. So I'm just going to start with this Purple Lake. I'm just getting lots of watery paint on my brush, and now I'm going to paint a straight line and down the center of the feather and over to the left here, making one edge of the feather. Now my paint is really wet, so the glare of my light is making it hard to see all of the color, but it's pretty color rich if you could see it in person. But I do want it really wet so that it will blend. So now I've painted another triangle, but I've been careful to leave a little bit of dry white paper in between. And now I'm just going to go down the side of my feather, leaving the middle section clear of paint so that you can see where the feather's quill would be, where that center hard bit of the feather is. So I'm just continuing down here with the purple, and all I'm doing is drawing angled lines down toward the center that meet up with this empty center section. So now I'm going to switch to blue, and I'm just going to do the same thing. First I'm going to work in its own section so it doesn't touch the purple, so it'll be quite separately blue. And then I'm going to let these two colors blend into each other a little bit right here where I touch the two wet spots together, and they kind of just intermingle and add a little bit of blending between the two colors. And I'll bring the feather down a little bit lower. And then I'm going to add a little bit more blue here just to get a little bit more tone. And you'll see it isn't going to make lines in the paint. It's really cloudy and soft the way this color gets added in. It'll be a little bit deeper in a few spots, but it's just mixing with the water that's already on the paper. Now I'm going to go back to my purple and just going to finish the bottom of this feather with some nice deep purple paint. So you can start to see how the blue and the purple are mixing in with each other, giving this a really abstract feathery look, soft feathery look. And again, I'm just going to grab some direct purple right off the tray, and I'm going to add this one. I'm going to put a few just little pieces of the feather sticking off to the side. So feathery feathers. Yeah, and so at the very bottom here, you can see also that I don't have the quill area left clear any longer because I'm going to make the quill sticking out the bottom. So I've allowed that bottom bit to just touch together at the very bottom. All right, so here I'm just going to paint the very bottom quill from this solid section. I'm going to make it pointy at the bottom. And it's going to make it turn off to the side a little bit, just like this. Nice. All right, now I'm just going to add a few more dabs of darker color in here that are just going to mingle in with what I've already done. This will just add more tone. Watercolors always dry lighter than they go down, so that will make it, it'll just give it more color in the end. All right, so I'm going to do 2 more feathers. I'll do these in time lapse because that's much more fun to watch. The process is going to be the same for each one, but I'm starting with red this time. And again, just making triangles down both sides of the quill, keeping my paper nice and wet and soppy. And then moving on to the blue, which of course will blend in with this red to make purplish colors. Now I'm just adding more water mostly to keep it wet and bringing it right down to the bottom. And then now I'm just dabbing a little bit of blue all through the red just to give it that purple look. Now I've dried my brush and I've got some pure blue just to make a few feathery, like the feathers a bit tattered at the bottom. And now for this last one, I've got a little bit more blue left on my brush, so my purple is ending up a little bit deeper. That's the great thing about painting abstract, is there's no right or wrong. But I'm going to paint the whole feather here in this nice purple. It's got a bit of blue in it. Again, I'm keeping the center clear of paint so that it looks like I have a quill going down. It doesn't have to be the whole way down clear, but just the idea of the center of vein of the feather being visible most of the way down. And then I'm just dropping blue down one side and red down the other to give a really fantastical look to this feather. And that's it. So that's 3 feathers using 3 colors, and they're each different than each other. So I hope you enjoyed watching me paint these feathers today, and I hope you paint some too. I'd love it if you would comment on this video, tell me what you would like to see in future videos, and of course subscribe for more Doodle Draw Art. Thanks for watching.